Just a couple things, and here we go. All right, it's your good old boy JR coming to Vegas data. As always, it's mock draft season, so we are on the final weeks of our individual picks, and then Sunday we will do our super mock draft show. As always, Brandon is here to join us today with the next pick on the clock, and today we are going to be talking about the Buffalo Bills. Most I don't know how to. I would say more disappointing than when the Eagles that they were the dream team when they signed all those players and they deemed themselves the dream team. This is the most disappointing. They were the opening favorites to win the Super Bowl. They didn't even make it to the AFC Championship game. Um, Overrated, probably not. Underachieving, most definitely, most definitely. But here we are, Brandon. Good to see you, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. You ready to get into Buffalo Bills? You ready to dive into this? What's wrong with the team?
Let's hope and pray we can fix the Buffalo Bills, but I don't think so. But let's go.
All right, here we go. So Buffalo Bills dominating the AFC East again after an impressive 13-3, having the second best offense and having the second best defense. They are the last team we're going to be talking about because they made it to the divisional round. That's right, divisional. And they had a good, I mean, they had a really good year. You know, everything was going well, everything was going splendid. And then somewhere along the lines, injuries, no matter how great you are, they just started to, but I didn't think it was going to be to the point to where they still cannot be competitive. You know, like even with the injuries that they did have, I was expecting them to still kind of make it, but it was just one of those things, man, where I'd be damned to say that yes, underachieving is probably the best way of putting it because I think everybody was expecting this team to go to the Super Bowl. What happened? So, um, it's just getting to a point now where I'm sorry to say this, Josh Allen and the whole idea, elite quarterback, absolutely. At this point now, I am safe to say he's probably third or fourth back in the AFC. And that is including if Lamar Jackson is there. There it is. Um, Look, Josh Allen again, another great year. 4,200 pass yards, 35 pounds, 14 interceptions. It kind of seemed like he regressed from last year. Still a good year. It seems like he went back to his old ways of decision making, I guess, if you will. But he did also add 762 rushing yards with 7 touchdowns. So not for none, a good year for Josh Allen standards. Now Devin Singletary, 819 yards with 5 touchdowns, 108 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Brandon, I think I've asked this question to you already, but I'm going to ask again. How much Brian Daboll leaving the Buffalo Bills hurt internally? How much did it hurt them? Was it just because Brian Daboll maybe is a quarterback whisperer to where we got MVP Josh Allen last year and this year was not it, especially with the high turnover rate and everything? Do you think maybe, just maybe, Brian Daboll was the secret to this offense actually working last year?
That's a hard question to ask. It's a hard question to answer, really. Because you see what he did in New York, you're like, with Daniel Jones, who's usually a turnover, prone quarterback, didn't have really that many turnovers last year. While you look at Josh Allen, you're like, the man can't even throw the ball in the end zone in the red zone without getting it picked off. So it's either or. I mean, listen, yes, losing Brian Dable was a massive loss for Buffalo. But at the end of the day, at some point, Josh Allen is going to have to step up without the person holding his hand. He's going to have to step up and do something. You've had Brian Dable for the last couple of years. Are you going to be a man and finally step up and be the guy that everybody expects you to be? And he just didn't do it. Let's just be real. I mean, there's only so much Brian Dable can physically do for you. And, and if that's the case, then we shall see what Kansas City looks like without Eric Bieniemy this year. If that's the case, if offense coordinator means that much, we shall see what Kansas City's going to look like without Eric Bieniemy this year when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. So if it really was all that, then I don't know. But I think if Josh Allen was supposed to be this MVP caliber player, you should rise above anything. The fact of the matter is a head coach, offensive coordinator, a coach, period, should not completely make you look back like you were back in your rookie freaking year. He looked like he was playing like he was back in his rookie year. And that's nothing that an offensive coordinator, good or bad, could do for you about that. That was just terrible football.
Oh. Yeah. No, I the or all off season after with all the moves that Buffalo did. Um, yeah, I do believe where and I don't because eventually that's what Buffalo Bill fans are going to be wanting is for him to get over the hump of the whole deal of it's just wrong place, wrong time. I don't know. In a 3-man race, nothing is working. So they cater to it. Series kind of derailed the team, but with 102 tackles for losses, he is one of the best, no doubt about it. So, and it is with Buffalo. I like what the Gregory Rousseau, Jordan Poyer. I those things that I think the defense and really you know, happened this show. Nobody really wanted to talk about. Nobody really understands what it is. Yeah, so we're gonna, like I said, we lost Brandon there for a little bit. And we're gonna try to get some about it. Down the stretch with the hey, there you are. Yeah, so like I was saying, I think with the Bills, I think in um about it. Really no, yeah, Dable success. win this game or to be competitive. You did everything you could to address every need you can. And last year was a perfect opportunity. You did everything you could. It's just nothing happened. So I don't know.
God forbid, if the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers actually figure it out. Because Buffalo has no chance in hell.
No, and I agree with that. I do agree that it's going to come to a point now for Buffalo. Whether it sounds weird to know that even though Josh Allen is young and he's elite and all that stuff, their window of actually winning a Super Bowl, it's not as big as it once was. Like, I want people to understand that it's not as big as it once was. And I'm going to be honest with you. I thought last year for sure they should have done it. Now, injuries aside, like I said, stats. I mean, at this point, who cares about stats, especially with this team? They were destined to be great. Of course, they were supposed to be the second best offense. Of course, they were supposed to have the second best defense. Look who they added. Look who they drafted. Look what they did last offseason. Look what they did the year before that. Of course, they were supposed to have this. I mean, think about this. You get Tremaine Edmonds, who's probably one of the better all-around linebackers in the league. All right? And not for nothing, this is what he did. 102 tackles, 6 tackles for losses, 1 sack, 3 interceptions with a pick 6, and 11 pass deflections. Of course, yeah, that's what he was supposed to do. He is the guy. He is supposed to be the linebacker. Now, unfortunately, he's moved on to Chicago, and we'll see how that goes.
You got Buffalo Bills fans so excited, but he left. He's in Chicago.
But I mean, think about this. Think about this. For Tremaine Edmonds to be like, okay, I don't know what the future holds in Chicago. You're going to either go really bad or really good. And I know I got something proven here. But every single year since I've been here, we've always either come a game or two away, and we're never going to get over that hump. Do I want my money now, or do I sacrifice the money in hopes of a championship? No, you got to get your money now.
And it also is because with all of the stats that the Buffalo Bills have, what is the key thing that always lets them down? Defense. That's it. Like,
not this year. Not this year. Hold on. Not this year.
They should have been in that game against Cincinnati. For shit.
Okay, they could have stopped Jamar Chase, but the Buffalo Bills offense was so ablemic of freaking kid. That's a I don't know what they call it.
But how many times has that offense shown up in the playoffs? One game, they didn't do shit. That even in that Miami game, in the wild card, that defense should have not even had that shit. Shouldn't even been close. Can you agree with that? That shit shouldn't have even been close.
No.
They played Skylar Thompson.
But okay, but we're talking about a Skylar Thompson Miami-led offense going up against a Super Bowl that just was in the Super Bowl a year prior. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference.
Buffalo's defense always comes up short in the postseason. They have the records. They have the number 1 and number 2 best defenses. We have said this numerous times. Josh Allen, if he would have got the ball back in overtime, what would have happened? Well, he never got the goddamn ball back. You know why? Tariq Hill caught the ball and ran just burnt the fucking defense. That is why I keep saying I don't care about Buffalo's stats defensively. They suck when it matters. Don't give a shit. They're the best defense.
Okay, but we're talking about in the divisional game against the Cincinnati Bengals, where the offense was so bad. All right, so bad.
But that's one game. That's one. I can easily agree. Yes, they sucked that game. And they were home. That shit should have never happened.
The fact
they couldn't do shit offensively is
now. I'm not taking anything away from the Cincinnati Bengals, because let's be real about this. A month prior, before that crazy accident, the Bengals looked like they were going to run away with that game. You would have at least thought But then I can go back to last year to where how the hell are you going to go 3-0 in the fourth quarter? And the defense is obviously not going to stop Kansas City because no defense can stop that Kansas City offense. None.
But we both said this. Gabriel Davis probably had the greatest game of his entire life.
Nobody will remember it. Nobody.
And nobody gives a fuck. You know why? Because they couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes for 13 seconds. That's it. You didn't have to do shit else. Just stop him from just getting to the middle of the field. They couldn't even do that. It's just like, this is why I keep saying, as much as people want to continuously run Buffalo out and keep saying, well, Buffalo's still going to, Buffalo don't show up when the fuck it's supposed to count. And that's the biggest, they don't run the ball. That is something I have literally continuously said about Buffalo. They don't run the ball to offense.
They don't. They don't.
Is a pet peeve for me. They run the ball, but you use your quarterback. This is the crazy part. If Josh Allen was Lamar Jackson, would he be getting paid right now?
Oh, oof.
If he was Lamar Jackson's size, and he isn't that damn big, will he get paid? Because this is the same fucking offense. What's the difference? What, Stephon Diggs? That's about it. What's the difference? It's the same fucking offense. You barely use the running back. At least with Baltimore, they at least give it to J.K. Dobbins a little bit.
I don't think. I think with the Buffalo Bills, I think it's just so frustrating because you see the talent, you see the names, and you're like, yeah, you better win a Super Bowl. And I think that's always been the problem now where I'm looking at this Buffalo Bills team and I'm like, dude, I'm not giving you guys any hope this year. Why? I don't want to be disappointed again. Like, we literally changed the rules for the Buffalo Bills.
And they still can do shit.
And they still couldn't do shit.
That's like Ron's pet peeve. We changed the overtime rules for you son of bitches, and you still couldn't do shit.
No, granted, losing Von Miller was probably a big hit, but come on now. Come on.
Well, that was a difference. I can easily point out Pittsburgh and say when they lost TJ Watt, their whole season went to shit. So we can't say, come on now, because I saw Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh probably had TJ Watt most of the year. They're probably in the playoffs.
But the thing is, it's like the Bills were in the playoffs already. Like, it's like, dude, you already played a month without Von Miller, and you're still winning. Then Cincinnati comes into your house. Your house.
Fine, it's Joe Burrow.
I know it's Joe Burrow, but come on, guys. Really?
It's Jamar Chase.
Look,
It's T. Higgins. Come on, Juan, it's T. Higgins.
I get it. Cincinnati Bengals defense is great too, but come on now. Come on.
Stephon Diggs. I've never seen Stephon Diggs that got a quarterback like he.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was one of those people where I'm like, this is it. I'm going to be honest with you. This is it. It's either they win this year, Stephon Diggs is going to be a wide receiver for another team next year. Honest to God.
It's a bold statement.
No, I mean, you're not going to get rid of Josh Allen. That's the best quarterback you've had since Jim Kelly. You're not going to get rid of him.
And that said a lot. At least Josh kind of got you to some 4 Super Bowls. He might not won the motherfuckers, but he got you there.
Like, you're not going to get rid of that. You're not getting rid of that. So, what are you going to do? Of course you're going to trade Stephon Diggs. You're going to have to. You're going to have to. Because it's not working. Like, this is what I mean. Why would you only throw to him 3 times? In the do or die situation, you only targeted him 3 times. I think for me, when it comes to the Bills in general, I love what they're doing. I love the buildup. But like you said, God forbid the Chargers get it right. God forbid the Broncos get it right. Hell, God forbid any team that was like 1-score games last year and they get it right, and all of a sudden the Bills can't win.
There's no faith in Buffalo.
Not anymore. Not anymore. At this point, it's like, dude, like, don't get me wrong. The Bills are going to do fine. They're going to win. And they're going to win, and they're going to be fine.
This is a complete flip-flop. I actually have more faith in the Bills this year than I did last year.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
He took off the bandwagon. Like, fuck the bandwagon. I'm not on it.
And I'm done, dude. Like, I'm done. Like, okay, what's it going to take? What's it going to take? You don't want to run the ball? You don't want to find a traditional number two? Your defense doesn't, we changed the rules for you. You still can't figure it out? I'm good. Now I know that if Buffalo can beat the shit out of Baltimore, they can beat the shit out of Vegas, they can beat the shit out of Pittsburgh, they can beat the shit out of Jacksonville, they can beat the shit out of anybody else. But if they got to play Cincinnati or Kansas City, I'm taking Kansas City or Cincinnati. That's it, because you're in a 3-man race and you're always going to be in third place. Sorry. That's just what it is.
If you put it into perspective, right? Let's put it into perspective, right? Cincinnati is probably the best overall team, defensively and offensively.
And I wouldn't even call them overachievers. I wouldn't even call Cincinnati overachievers.
It's just fucking good. And Kansas City is probably the best coach quarterback combination.
Exactly.
So what the fuck does Buffalo have? What does Buffalo do? Like, that is the craziest part. And we talked about this, yesterday about Sean McDermott. You talk about Stephon Diggs. I think this is really Sean McDermott's last fucking year. Like, we've given you all these chances to be the guy when we know the league is an offensive league, and you continuously not figuring it out is a problem for us. When you had Brian Dable, if we knew that Brian Dable was this fucking good and could have been a head coach, we would have fired your ass a long time ago and just hired him as a head coach. Why are we doing this?
He took the Giants. Brian Dable took the... I want you to understand what I'm about to tell you. Brian Dable took a burned down, what the hell dysfunctional organization, and he took them to the playoffs in his first freaking year with Kenny Golladay as a starting wide receiver.
And he barely fucking played.
He took a rundown Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, an injured Sterling Shepard, and the legs of Saquon to the freaking playoffs.
Brian Dable is so good. He, in 1 year, showed the Giants that Daniel Jones is worth $40 million. Now, technically he's not, but in their heads, that's all they needed to see was, oh, he's capable of being a quarterback. That's all the owner of the Giants needed to see is that he's capable, that he can actually be a fucking competent quarterback. He's like, $40 million. He's like, $40 million. That is how good this man is at being a quarterback whisperer. That's incredible. The man only threw 15 touchdowns. $40 million. That is does that equal up to $40 million? 15 touchdowns.
No, but throwing 2 touchdowns gets you a Pro Bowl bid, Tyler Huntley. Throwing 2 touchdowns gets you a Pro Bowl bid.
Oh my God. Yo, I was trying to figure that shit out. 15 touchdowns, $40 million.
Man, if Patrick Mahomes is throwing 35, 45 a year, I'm telling you right now, man, he should be getting paid $80 million fucking dollars, man.
Oh my God. He saw that shit was like $40 million. I don't know.
If I'm Patrick Mahomes, do you go to the Kansas City office and be like,
Oh my God.
I need more?
Oh my God. Oh wow. $40 million. She sell 15 touchdowns. It was like, he didn't throw a pick this week? Oh, his money's just off on him. Like, what the fuck was he thinking? He didn't throw a pick this week? Oh, he's getting paid this summer. Like, what the fuck was he thinking?
Oh, could you imagine if he only threw 3 interceptions instead of 5? This dude probably would have gone $45 million.
Oh my God.
You know,
Yeah,
but no,
imagine he had a receiver. He had a real receiver. Imagine, he would have got the Giants organization. I just felt like he just would have bought the whole Giants organization. Sign these papers. You're a co-owner of Giants now.
Like,
that's how I feel.
and
Like, it would've
it's
happened.
just, I think to me, I think when it comes to the Bills, I think you're right. The Chiefs have a great quarterback head coach combo. The Bengals are just overall a solid, good, all around football team. They're just really good.
I'm gonna say this. If this is a big if, but if Pittsburgh figure out that O-line, Buffalo's for it.
Not only that, imagine if Doug Peterson has a better year this year with the Jaguars than he did last year. Then you're looking at it like, for me right now, that this is their window is like this. If they don't win it this year, we're never going to see Josh Allen win a Super Bowl ever again.
We both know. This is how crazy it is. We both know that the AFC is going to get better. There's literally conversations right now about what the coach will do at number 4. If they trade it or if they keep it. What's to say this rookie don't turn into a pro right away and become something? Especially if it's CJ Stroud.
Then you're screwed.
That offense that we saw in Philly last year, with CJ Stroud running it, and a healthy Jonathan Taylor.
There you go. There you go.
That's a problem. Like, I don't trust Buffalo like that. And it's not because I think Buffalo's good. I just don't think Kansas City's going to be all that great this year. So somebody's got to take the second slot.
I still have more faith in Kansas City's third stringers beating the Buffalo Bills as a whole, to be honest with you. I'm good.
It's like, I'll take Marcus Valdez-Scantling over Buffalo anything.
Like, dude, you couldn't. You're at home and you can't stop. You can't get through that offensive line? Forget it.
It is bad that Chris Jones literally went through the offensive line of Cincinnati like confetti. The week after, when Buffalo couldn't even touch Joe Burrow for like the entire fucking game. It's like, really? Like, what are you doing? You couldn't. Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It didn't look good.
I got nothing. I got nothing. And, you know, there are. And listen, I like what they did in free agency. Okay? They re-signed Jordan Poyer. They re-signed Jordan Phillips. David Queensberry's back. AJ Klein is back. Shaq Lawson's back. Look who they brought in. Again. Connor McGovern. Good guard. Yeah. Deontay Hardy. You know a little bit about him. All right? Special teams ace. Taylor Rapp. All right? Good safety for the Rams.
I never safety.
Okay. David Edwards. Good swinging offensive lineman. All right. Trent Sherfield. I know a little bit about him. He's okay. Damian Harris. You bring in Damian Harris. And then you got Kyle Allen, the quarterback. Hey, backup purposes, okay? Because Case Keenum's gone. So, I mean, you know, you got to bring in somebody else. So, Kyle Allen it is, I guess.
The way you said all those players, and then you got to Kyle Allen, like, oh, yeah, Kyle Allen. He's funny about him.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about him? Oh, it'll be such a great backup job opportunity. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say, bro? Case Keenum got signed somewhere else. They had to bring somebody else in. Kyle Allen is the way to go. Good shit, bro. Good shit. All right. Not for not.
I'm sorry, Kyle Allen. He didn't mean it. I mean, he did mean to kind of do you like that, to like just dismiss you like you were like he in the league, like he in the league.
Like who's that? Kyle Allen. Like when I saw that name, I'm like, I thought he was starting the USFL last weekend. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? All right, cool. Good for him. No, good for him. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him.
I gotta just point out, Trish Stratus still looks good. This is ridiculous. I was a kid watching her. Now she just looks even better. Like, am I tripping?
Wait, who?
Trish Stratus.
Oh my God.
Good God. Like, I'm like, God damn, really? I was a kid.
Is she back full time or is she just doing?
I have no idea. I wish she is back full time. This is ridiculous.
I was like, is she back like full time? That is like legit. So, in the end of it, what can we say about the Buffalo Bills? A team that this is kind of it, man. This is it. You either figure this out or God forbid the Chargers, like you said, the Chargers figure it out. God forbid the Broncos figure it out. God forbid the Steelers figure it out. God forbid the Jaguars or the Titans or the not the Titans, the freaking Colts. The Colts figure it out because Kansas City's got to figure it out. Cincinnati's got to figure it out. Baltimore's going to be in the mix. We don't know what the Cleveland. Imagine the Browns figure it out. Oh my God.
I mean, listen, they got two teams in that division. Three if Aaron Rodgers comes, but I don't really believe in the Jets. But two teams in their own division, the Dolphins and New England. If New England, whatever the fuck going on in New England, they could at least patch that shit together for at least a season. They're gonna be in the playoffs.
Like
Miami, if you get Tua upright, you're in the playoffs.
And so again, Buffalo has so many obstacles this year where I'm just like, nah, son. Your window of opportunity was so easy for you last year. This year's going to be harder. Nope. Not for me. Not for me. Amount? Sure. We have to play the Bills, I think, this year. We got to play them. I'm sure there's going to be Bill fans. Hell, we kicked your Raiders' asses. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat the shitty teams. Duh. But I want you to beat the teams that, I'm sorry, you can't beat the Bengals. I know this much. Patrick Mahomes should be full-time owner of the Royals and should be the full-time owner of your sorry asses. The way he plays against you. The owner should not say whoever it is right now, the Wilson family. It should say Patrick Mahomes. That's the owner of the Buffalo Bills. Just like how Joe Burrow owns the Baltimore Ravens, that's Patrick Mahomes with the Buffalo Bills. That's the owner. Patrick Mahomes, owner of the Buffalo freaking Bills until told otherwise. Until otherwise. That's it.
Until I feel like saying no. I don't want it anymore. Listen, I think Buffalo this year. Yeah, good God. This is like the last year fully that they are going to have. That's all pressure.
If they don't win it this year, think about it. Their cap, it's going to be worse next year.
Yeah, I don't believe.
And you're drafting in a spot right now where you're taking whatever you can. And this year, when you look at it, they need help. They do. They do have a big hole. They have a big hole in a few spots, very key spots now, to where, I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do at 27. So, without further ado, Brandon, I think it is time. Who do you have the Bills taking at number 27?
All right. For the number 27 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills will select Dante Banks, cornerback, Maryland. I feel like this. Yes, losing Von Miller is one thing. But when they lost Micah Hyde, and then Tre'Davious White could never get right, and then Jordan Poyer went down a little bit. It just looked bad. Like, they secondary sucked. Like, good God, did that secondary suck. It was bad. I don't know if you're going to get Michael Hyde back. I mean, that's a neck injury. He probably isn't coming back.
I don't know.
But you also forget the fact that they also lost DeMar Hamlin. That was a cornerback. That was the guy that played in that secondary. I don't know if he's coming back. And if he
That's something that we have to wait and see. I mean, I think right now for DeMar Hamlin, there's other focuses than football right now.
I don't think he. What's the point of coming back? Like, I get it to live his dream, but it's just like you touching the field. That's a scary feeling, man. I don't know. But you're gonna have to fix that secondary, and I don't think they can. And that is the thing. I know people are saying, well, they're just adding on more cornerbacks and just adding on more people. Yeah, I am. Because that is the one thing.
Did we not see the injuries last year? Did we not see the injuries to Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, DeMar Hamlin, Tre'Davious White?
Tre'Davious White never looked right. And then when he came,
No, and here's the crappy part. It's like, but Brandon, they drafted Kareem Elam, and Kareem Elam was actually off to a really good start, and then his ass got hurt, and it's like, oh my god.
I know we're gonna see. I know people in Buffalo will be like, why you don't give us an offensive tackle? I could easily give you an offensive tackle, which is kind of obvious because you do need one. That shit.
Why can't you give me somebody to replace Tremaine Edmonds? Cause.
And here's the thing with that too. I think if I was Buffalo, I would go and call Tampa Bay. I know they said they're not going to trade Devin White. That's bullshit. Devin White is not going to stay in Tampa Bay and deal with a rebuild. He is getting the fuck out of Tampa Bay. GM can talk all that shit. He is not sitting there in Tampa Bay for this duration of this bullshit ass rebuild. He will be traded somewhere. If I was Buffalo, fuck DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to get Devin White. Because that is somebody that it can easily be paired in that defensive core.
Now,
easily.
Is he as good as Tremaine Edmonds? No.
But what he can do is what you need. You need a run stopper. You need somebody that's going to come in and hit somebody. Also, they can also play in the receiving position when you have somebody running out the backfield. It's pretty good at that. He can stop a goddamn running back if you need him to. That is something you need. If he's in that Buffalo defense, and by the way, Sean McDermott, who comes from Carolina, you pretty much watched this dude for most of the year before you went to Buffalo. I'm pretty sure you know how this dude looks. So that is another thing. And I feel like, listen, get a cornerback. Like, Dante Banks, is he the best cornerback right now at that time? Probably not. But at the same time, what you want, him or Cam Smith from Mississippi State? It just depends on what fits you. And I think Dante Banks fits them. I think he fits them because that's secondary. If somebody gets hurt, this shit is bad all over again. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, there really is. I had a hard time with this one because there was a part of me where I wanted to put Drew Sanders from Arkansas, and like that's a great value for there at 27. Then I looked at corner, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe, just maybe, a Clark Phillips, Cam Smith, a Deontay Banks, but I think they can get a corner in the second round that'll still have day one value, to be honest with you. Because the cornerback class is pretty freaking deep this year. So I think you can get one in a second. But the image of the Buffalo Bills that I have, divisional matchup. Brandon, remind the good folks of America, how many times did Josh Allen get sacked in that divisional matchup? How many times did he get hit?
Like 10?
Yep.
Yeah, 10 times, yeah. Like 10. Yeah.
You've invested all your draft equity and all your free agency and defense. It's time to flip the script. That's why with me, with the 27th pick in this year's draft, the Buffalo Bills will select Antoine Harrison, the offensive lineman out of Oklahoma. Look, he's a 6'5", 315-pound machine man. He's a man of all man. Some people like him at tackle. Some people like him at guard. You know what I say to Buffalo? You got Deion Dawkins. You now have Connor McGovern. You still have Mitch Morse. You got David Queensberry. Honestly, put him at right guard. He's athletic enough. He is good enough and athletic enough to play 4 out of 5 positions on that offensive line until you figure it out. I say right now, honestly, I'll be honest with you. With this speed and everything, and the way how he blocks, I would tell Connor McGovern, hey, man, I need you to go to the right side. You're going to take on the left side. So that way we can get 2-3 big guys up in the middle. So Josh Allen has all the time in the world to fucking find his people. Because they need help. Offensive line-wise, they need help. It was apparent from the moment they lost to the Jets, from the moment they got upset by a team, and in the playoffs, when the offensive line was looking shaky, it's very, very apparent they need help on the offensive line.
The only time Minnesota's defense even looked remotely good
Was against Buffalo.
against Buffalo.
That is saying everything to perspective. The only time the Minnesota Vikings defense looked good was against the Buffalo Bills offensive line.
In Buffalo. That is how fucked up that is. In Buffalo, they sat Josh Allen and what gave down a safety. Like that is how bad that fucking O-line was last year. Yeah.
Antoine Harrison, Oklahoma. I like this kid. I think he's a very good kid. And I think he fits what Buffalo wants to do. Athletic, powerful, multiple position players. I think he's got it. I think he can do it.
This is how crazy is this. I was gonna pick him.
Were you?
I was gonna pick him.
Yeah,
And then this morning I was looking at the roster of Buffalo Bills and who they re-signed and all that. I'm like, they kind of need a corner, man, because it's like if they get re-injured, they are screwed. Like if they get re-injured, they are screwed. They have nobody that I trust in that secondary. Tre'Davious White keeps getting burned because he's getting older. And he's coming off a torn ACL, so I don't know how much more he's got tread left on those tires. You know, you got the safety's back, but it's kind of like I don't know who your slot is. Deion Jackson, that's not gonna work. Like I saw him last year, he didn't really do shit. So it's just like I need a guy that can actually help us, and I think Dante Banks, for what is worth playing in Big Ten last year, particularly Maryland had a lot of close games last year. Of course, for Ohio State of all teams, you saw him kind of guard Marvin Harris Jr. and also having to switch on Jackson Smith. You could see how he would fit in the Buffalo Bills when you have three receivers like Cincinnati or even Kansas City, whatever they figure out.
or hell, even Miami. Imagine Miami now.
Miami, like it just and you can figure it out that way. And of course, with the Jags getting Calvin Ridley back and also having Zay Jones and also Christian Kirk, so it can always be something. And I feel like that's something about the Buffalo Bills. They need to figure out. They got to get their secondary back. I'm not just saying Christian Kirk like he was a superstar, but
I'm trying to keep my composure here. And I was up with you until Kevin Ridley. I was up with you until Zay Jones. Like, okay, that's not a bad idea. Then when you said Christian Kirk, I'm like, look, I was up with you. Like, yeah, Kelvin Ridley, yeah. Zay Jones, you know what? He has his moment. Christian Kirk, hey, look, man, we can't just name random receivers in a team. Like, I'm not sitting up here. It's like, oh man, especially Miami, you know, with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you know, that other guy, Cedric Wilson.
He almost disowned me. He was like, what? Like, what?
Like, you know, it's not like I'm going like, yeah, I mean, you know, I think Deontay Banks would be, especially with Miami now that they have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Braxton Berrios. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, what'd you say? Like, what? What did you just say? What did you just say right now? What's going on over there?
He just disowned me. He's like, I didn't got paid all that money, but
Like, come on, man. Like, his first ever 1,000 yard season, and it was just barely over 1,000 yards. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it, folks. Now, if he does it again, I'll give him his props. I'll give him his fucking props. All right? Give him his props. All right? Because maybe it was Arizona that was holding him back. At that point, I'm like, you know, the proof's in the pudding. There it is, man. There it is. But hey, I was up with you up until Kevin Ridley and all the other. Like, hey, hold on. Hey, hold on now. You know, I was up with you with like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then you said Christian. I was just like, what the fuck did you just say?
I lost him after that. He's like, yeah, I can't ride with you now.
Like, all right, listen, man. My train stopped at Zay Jones. I gotta go. That's it. I gotta go. But listen, it's been fun, man. No, and listen, I think I can't disagree with you either because yeah, they are going to need another corner. Like you said, the Tre'Davious White injuries, that's kind of a scary thought now. Career Elam, listen, he was off to a great start. Not like Sauce Gardner great, but like okay, like a rookie corner, it's way better than what you want.
Better than Devin Stingley, great.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
That's how we judge this shit. He ain't Sauce Gardner. He was better than Devin Stingley.
Like, he was better than that dude. You know, look, for me, I think it's very simple when it comes to the Bills. I think there's really at that point it really is going to have to be BPA at 27 because there's no other way around it. But the reason I went offensive lineman is because the fact that the best game Minnesota ever had defensively was against the Bills, and it was against that old line. I'm like, you know what, man? I don't think this thing gonna work for me, man. And then you lose to the Jets, and then the next week the Patriots win on a punt return touchdown. Like, I'm just like, okay, Buffalo, we got to fix this offensive line real freaking quick, man. Like, real quick.
Not even that when they lost to Miami. It's just like in Miami, like the defense really couldn't stop Tua. Like, it was just like, yeah, this guy good, man. And they couldn't stop them from getting to Josh Allen either. That's kind of why Josh Allen was in such a fucking frenzy trying to get the damn play off because he didn't know what the fuck to call. The defense was getting at him. It just, yeah, that's before Bradley Chubb. That's how fucked up that is.
That was way before Bradley Chubb. Yep, that was way before Bradley. Now Bradley Chubb is in Miami with Jalen Phillips. Oh, with Christian Wilkins, with Jalen Phillips. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro.
I don't like this. I don't like it. There you go, Miami. That's your dose of Miami. This whole
draft process.
The whole Miami. There it is. Miami got Bradley Chubb. You good? Tyreek Hill too. Congratulations. You got. There it is. Your whole season right there. we were doing Scott Thompson earlier. It's just to point out you guys in the playoffs. See, we talked about Miami. Even though we didn't want you, we talked about Miami. Yeah.
I mean, it's not my fault that they gave up the first rounder, okay? It's not my fault, all right? All they had to do was stay away from Tom Brady and Sean Payton. That's all they had to do. Just stay away. Just stay away, bro.
All you had to do was stay away from them, and you still never got them. That's how fucking bad that is. You lost your first round pick for two people you ain't even get.
One retired on your beach, and the other one went on the other side of the country.
You got to realize, two men, one retired as a coach, it came back. It was like, I'd rather go to Denver where the air, where the air might be fucked up. Like, I'd rather go to Denver than coach Miami. You had a 45-year-old quarterback just still like, well, maybe we can get him.
Tom Brady retired on the beaches of Miami. And Sean Payton went to the other side of the country, and you couldn't get neither of them. And you lost your first-round pick for two guys you couldn't even get. That's Miami, folks. That's Miami. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know where to go from here. So it is what it is. But just to recap, today, Brandon went with Deonte Banks, the corner out of Maryland. Very shifty corner, by the way. I like his tape. Really rising up in the ranks. A lot of Maryland players have been raising up in the ranks lately on mock drafts, and I don't know where the hell that came from. But
Maryland had a great. I think people really didn't take into consideration. Maryland had a really great year last year.
They did, man.
Like Tua's brother did really great, but they had a really great year last year. Like people didn't really put that into perspective. I think even when you saw them play against Michigan, well, not Michigan, they had ass. Like,
when they played Ohio State, I was kind of like, okay, Maryland's kind of. Yeah, I think what it is, I don't know. It's just Maryland has really good football players this year, apparently. I didn't know that. I didn't freaking know that until I started looking. And I'm like, yo, Jalen Duncan, the left tackle, he can actually sneak into the first round because his tape is sneaky good. Deion Banks can sneak into the first round because there's going to be a corner-needy team, and he's going to be the best one available. It's like, dude, like, I don't know. Maryland is just freaking crazy.
It really gets to the point of, like, at that time frame, it cornerback wise, and you're looking for a cornerback, it really does come down to Cam Smith from Mississippi State, or I'd say Banks from Maryland. Like, it does kind of like come into that conversation a little bit there.
No, and then No, and then here's the crazy thing about this. Here's the crazy thing about this. It could either come down to a Cam Smith, like you said, from South Carolina, and come to a Clark Phillips from Utah, and Emmanuel Fosby from Mississippi State. It could come down to your guy, Jay Ward from LSU. My guy from Miami, Tyreek Stevenson, who really sounds really good out of all those guys. Probably the kid from Maryland. Probably the kid from Maryland. Like, listen, I'm sure those 5 guys are going to have good careers. Those 5 guys I mentioned, I'm sure they're going to have good careers.
Depending on where they go, yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine. But I'm taking my chances with this kid. But I don't know. It's like I said, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. So he took Deontay Banks, the corner out of Maryland. I took Antoine Harrison, the offensive lineman out of Oklahoma. So that is it. That is pick number.
That is a really good pick. That's a really good guy.
It's value. It's pretty much value and best player at that point.
That's a good pick. I mean, if you watch Oklahoma last year, a lot of shit didn't get right for Oklahoma, but that offensive line, when he was on the field, he just dominated. A lot of shit didn't go right for Oklahoma, but at least they can say their offensive line never struggled.
And we're talking to everybody. We're talking about, we're talking about we're talking about the guards, the fucking centers. That Oklahoma offensive line was really good. The rest of the team, I don't know what that was. But that offensive line, that was a great offensive line unit, all right? That was a very great offensive line unit. So kudos to Oklahoma. Kudos to that. All right? But I don't know. I think that's going to be interesting to see. So we'll see how this goes. But all right, Brendan, that is our show today. So everybody, thank you that tuned in. Sorry about the little technical difficulties earlier, but we will be back tomorrow. We have the Cincinnati Bengals on the clock after falling a game short from the going back to the Super Bowl. What does Cincinnati have to do to pretty much get back to the promised land here? And I'm going to be honest with you. Here come them Bengals again. Everybody's coming back, and
I feel like I gave out a lot of A pluses for like all season acquisitions. I feel like I'm gonna have to give another A plus tomorrow. I just feel it in my spirit that I'm gonna have to give another A plus for all season acquisitions. The losses are massive, but it's kind of like
the losses are massive. But I think the crazy thing is that they drafted the guys last year to replace them.
That's how crazy that is.
Like, I know you drafted Drax Hill to be your slot corner, but it's like, hey, Drax, you can go to your safety position.
That's that.
Everybody stayed intact, and I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know what to do here. Like, oh my god, that's it. I don't know what else to do here. And then obviously we will be doing a morning show tomorrow. We have a lot to talk about to recap you in the world of sports. NBA playoffs have started. Who are our biggest winners and losers for the opening rounds? How do we feel about the injuries that are piling up in the NBA playoffs? And also, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight this weekend. And I just saw that last face-off. I think Tank's going to kick his ass. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's a reason, Pitbull, let's be real. Pitbull is one of the toughest son of a guns you'll ever meet. If he's saying he doesn't want to fight Tank again, it's probably for a reason that we should start taking Tank as a real serious contender if you already haven't. All right? That's just me, though. That's just me. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody else, have a wonderful night. Take care. Be safe. Peace.